Hi, I'm Kellen Hogan, and for the past 3 years I've been in a Catholic school. Being in a Catholic school, a religion-based school, has brought up questions like, how do people choose their religion? So, for my last year as a middle schooler, I decided to ask that question through a video interview.
My life gets kinda boring. Need something that I can confess. Till on my sleeves I stained red.
Protestant.
None.
Christian.
I don't have one.
Practicing Buddhist.
I am a Christian.
I hate the word religion. So I would say I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so that's what I would say.
By the faith of other friends and people showing me the path and the way to Christ.
Well, it was a great story, actually. One of the ladies that works with me at the Women's Club, I noticed over the course of a year that she had changed a lot and become a much happier, much more pleasant, easier to work with person. And so I asked her one time, what have you done? The change is wonderful, and you seem really happy, much more so than I remember. And she agreed. She said, yeah, this has made a tremendous difference in my life, and the thing that I've been doing is I've learned how to meditate. And I thought to myself, that sounds like something that would be really good for me too. I had read about meditation and done some practice of it, but didn't really understand it to the extent that I needed to in order to practice it effectively. So I went to the place where she had learned how to meditate, and when I came to that place and started taking meditation classes, they were Buddhists, and they were going to have later on a class on Introduction to Buddhism. And I told them, no, I'm not interested in learning about Buddhism. I just want to learn how to meditate. But after I'd been meditating for a month or so and quieted my mind and became present, all of a sudden I needed a perspective. I needed some type of a support around that. And so I decided, well, I'll take this Buddhism class, and I did. And
I was brought up in the Catholic Church. My mom was Catholic, and so we were brought up in the Catholic Church. And I got my first communion, and then I went through a thing called catechism, which is like, if you go to a public school, it's like night school. I don't know what you call it, but it's just basically additional education. And then you do that up until you get your confirmation, and I forget what age that occurs at, but I got confirmed. And then when I was around 18 years old, I left the Catholic Church, kind of went off to college, and then when I was in college, I actually discovered the person of Jesus instead of the rules of the Catholic Church. It's kind of, and I don't have any, I'm not bagging on the Catholic Church at all. They're great, and they gave me a great education, but what my parish lacked was stressing a relationship with Christ.
I was raised as a Christian because my family believed in that religion, but I really came to know it when I became more of an adult and an educated adult, and I met some great friends that led me to the church I go to now, so that's probably more of where my belief system is stemmed from. I enjoy the other people that are part of my religion and getting to make great friendships and relationships with those people. And I enjoy knowing that I am personally responsible for everything that I do within my religion, as far as like the relationship I have with Jesus, and that no matter what I want to do, like I can just open the Bible and I can read it, and I'm completely accountable for my entire walk through it. So
I enjoy the fact that knowing God is the truth, and God has the only truth in life, and by following Him you will know the truth and the path of life that we all shall follow.
Constraints, certain type of stereotypes.
I think the fruits of it are the first thing. I enjoy the fact that I don't suffer as much in my mind. I'm not as anxious. I'm not as fearful. I'm not as easily upset and knocked off as we used to say, knocked off our noodles. But I'm more grounded, and as a result, I think that I enjoy each moment a lot more deeply. I sense that I'm actualizing myself in a much greater way. So I really enjoy the fruits of it, of the practices, and the consequences of the practices. And I also really enjoy the people who I practice with, and that's the community.
Just not the pressure to have to be somebody or believe a way that somebody else is telling you that you have to believe.
I think what I enjoy the most, at its core, there are certain things that we can do that I know puts a smile on God's face. And I think much of that has to do with taking steps of faith. Just going, I know it's crazy. I know that you're praying and you've got something you feel like you should do, and go witness somebody or something, and you go for it, and something happens. It's one of my prayers is, wherever I'm at, God, don't let me get comfortable. I don't want to be, I always want to kind of be pushed and tweaked to where I have to go, oh, it's going to be hard to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because then when I do it, I know it just puts a smile on his face. And I typically end up getting blessed from it. So.
I struggle with understanding the concept of the Trinity. How God is three in one, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. How Jesus could be fully human and fully divine at the same time. It's not that I struggle accepting it, I just struggle comprehending it.
Mm-hmm.
The everyday events that you see, like the people that are out there doing the things that they shouldn't be, and trying to help guide them and not get involved with what they're doing, knowing that sometimes what other people are doing is not the way Christ wants us to live.
I think I struggle most with maintaining my accountability and not being perceived as a hypocrite, because I am constantly failing just like every other Christian, and I make mistakes and I sin, and it's a heavy burden to carry, to be the perfect kind of Christian, which nobody is, but I take that responsibility seriously. And so when I make mistakes, I'm very hard on myself, and I don't like to feel like a hypocrite or judge, like having to judge other people. Like, I don't like to do that. And so I feel like when I put myself into a position where I've made a mistake, I really I feel a lot of remorse, and that's probably the biggest issue I have.
You know, probably, if you were going to say sin stuff, I probably cuss way too much. I was in construction for a lot of years, and I just got really used to talking that way. And so I probably just, if I start to get angry or start, a lot of yuck comes out, I end up repenting a lot. So that would be one main area of sin. If it's kind of just maybe spiritual disciplines, it's probably just being really disciplined to read my Bible. Set a time away to start my day off, and say, okay, I'm gonna allow whatever, half an hour, and start my day off and read the Word and kind of get that in me. And it's spiritual food. The regular food is wonderful to eat all the time. Spiritual food is a discipline, but you spiritually kind of wither away if you don't eat. So.
Great question. Whenever a person stops and just becomes present, what you come up against and start to experience are a lot of the things that I found that I had been sort of pushing aside, not thinking about, running away from maybe, covering up. And so as I stopped and became present, a lot of the difficulties of my early life, for instance, and the subsequent suffering that I had as a result of those things, I became present to those things. And so I had to face those things and to work through them. So